I just threw it back in here, the Pisces. Pisces, do you want to go back in?
Double dipping.
I've never had that happen before. I threw it and it literally flew back in there. So that's a big question. I'm old school reader. I take like the old ways. Like, are you really like trying to just be like, no, I don't want the new love story. I don't want to hear the love story. I just want to go back in there and just like, can we pass this? Whatever this message is, Pisces, you don't want to hear it. You want it to kind of like, let's deal with it later. Well, no wonder. You got the Seven of Swords in reversed. I mean, this card is definitely the card where you are not being honest, or your partner's not being honest about the truth of how you really are feeling, or there is some sort of lying deception. And I would say the reversal is, I would say that it's to yourself. I think that inside that you're lying to yourself. I think that you're kind of trying to avoid. I mean, I said that before I even pulled this fucking card. This is the one card that Craig and I are like, Seven of Swords. I would not want to be hanging out with that fucker. And you got that reversed. Let's see what this card actually looks like upright. This is a dragon eagle with. I mean, it looks like Daenerys in Game of Thrones when she gets on the dragon and just takes out King's Landing. And this reversal is like, I think you want to do that, but you're too afraid to reveal it right now. About your partner and your situation. I don't think there's any, I just think, there's also like, you could be internalizing like, oh, or if you're single, you're just kind of like living in a really dark world that's, you don't want to reveal to somebody. The High Priestess reversed. You're not following your intuition at all. You're not listening to, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to just say this, and I'm not trying to be mean, Pisces. I'm just being a reader. You're not connected to the divine right now. You're in something that is feeling very off from the divine. Not listening at all to your gut. Wow, you got the moon reversed. You got lots of emotional suppression going on here. Or you're dealing with somebody who's an abuser, or you're dealing with somebody who's like really fucking toxic in your life right now. Or you're just in a really toxic situation in your life overall, and it's affecting your love life, and you're wondering why love is not working. Well, look at the abuse, or just look at the suppression, or not look at the person who's telling you they love you and they really don't, or that your gut's telling you something different, but you're like, no, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to listen to their lie, and I'm going to listen to that, and you're suppressing your real feelings very intensely. You pulled the Hermit reverse, so you're not listening to the wisdom at all. You got the High Priestess reverse and the Hermit reverse. You got two major arcanas dealing with wisdom in reverse. You're not listening to any wisdom at all. You're like completely running off the most unwise place when it comes to your love stories right now. This is an extreme reading. I would say this is the most extreme reading I've ever done in the show in over a year's time. You pulled the Eight of Pentacles as your Seven of Swords. So there's something about, I would say, like, is this really working? And I think that that's the lying to yourself. It's like, no, this works, but okay, it's a conveyor belt relationship. It's pretty basic. But is it operating even the right stuff? I almost feel like it's like a relationship could work, but it doesn't mean that it's healthy. Doesn't mean that it's truthful. Doesn't mean that it's you being truthful about what you are inside. You might know how to make something work. Doesn't mean that it's good, that it actually works, right? Like, why is the emotion suppressed? The Emperor reversed. You're dealing with yourself not having the courage and the power to deal with it. But again, I feel like you're dealing with a partner or somebody that you're dating who is trying to control you emotionally, and they've controlled you emotionally, and it's like you're waking up from it and you don't know what to do about it. You don't know what to do about it. You feel, or if you're alone, it's like you don't know how to take power over your emotions. And even when somebody tries to connect emotionally with you, you kind of block that emotion out. You don't know what to do with it. I don't think that you know how to define what your emotions are either, or you don't let anybody even connect emotionally to you. But then I think there's a lot of Pisces that are dealing with a lot of like, people overpowering their emotions and like suppressing them. And your wisdoms to try and do something. And I would yell, get out, but that might scare you too much because they have taught you to not hear something like that. Look at that. Trust. There's a lot of trust issues. You need to do a little investigation. I still wish they still had that show Cheaters. I really do. That was my favorite reality show ever made. I wish that guy was still around. I wish maybe we need to get a hold of him for Deep Love Tarot and like have him just go to somebody's fucking house real quick and just be like, yo, like here's all the footage and here's the shit. Like there's some trust issues going on in yourself and maybe you're not trustworthy, but I feel like there's a lot of just this feels very like, I mean, this is some reality show shit. Wow. Third house, communication. And that's, I think, the big thing, that there's a lot of untrustworthy communications and you need that trust. You need to know what the fuck's going on. You need to get much more closer to the eye of Horus and see the truth and see the light and see what's going on. There's a lot of and this feels like it's been going on a long time and it's like coming out of nowhere, like what? But when you realize it, it'll be like, holy cow. You did pull the first house Mercury in Cancer. You need to communicate the emotions that you need in your life and that you want in your life and stop playing games and be direct and say what you need. But also I think that you need to be very clear in understanding how you're emotionally, mentally, needing to be clear so you can understand what you're doing and defining what you want in your life. I'm going to go take a piss.
Hey, you do that. I mean, maybe you shut that communication off because, there was pain in the past. Maybe this individual wronged you and yet you stuck with them. That can be a really hard situation that we all going to have to deal with, whether that's with ourselves or with a friend or with a loved one, being able to witness kind of the downfall of relationship, because it's hard to see when we're in it, it's hard to see. We kind of just go about the day, we go about the moments and we're not really experiencing it. We're not really communicating anymore. We're not really actually allowing ourselves to love. And that's not going to be fair for either part. We get stuck in these rhythms, we get stuck in these routines where we allow individuals to kind of suck us down. And on the other side of that, we bring individuals down as well, and that's a hard thing to face as well, that maybe we're the kind of the toxic portion in that relationship, but we're not willing to necessarily look at it. We're not willing to look at ourselves and say, okay, this is what I need to fix about myself. This is what I can do better, because it's about controlling the world around you. It's about controlling yourself, and you are the universe. You are your own entity, and you are your own being that's existing with other individuals. We're all in this together. But we are an individual. We have our own ego. We have our own mind. We have our own wants and desires, and they're not always going to align perfectly with individuals. So that's when we kind of have to pick and choose as to what aspects it is that we want to bring in and what aspects it is that we want to show to the world around us. Because let's be honest, we do stay guarded, and that's, I think, a necessity in life as well. Somewhat is protecting ourselves until it's fully able to trust, and that's another aspect that's terrifying as well, is trusting an individual, trusting them for knowing that they have faults, knowing that they have their own doubts maybe about the relationship, maybe that they have their own doubts within themselves, because at any point it can become toxic and that can crumble down. But we can't just shut ourselves off. We have to be willing to, again, look at ourselves and be honest as to what it is that we can change. I have to do that all the time, I'll be doing well in a certain aspect of my life. Talk about, diet, for example. And then you hang out with an individual and that kind of just goes out the window and you get taken off your path. And it's working hard. It's working hard to stay true to yourself. It's working hard to be honest and being better for yourself so that you can be the best partner, so that you can be your best friend, that you can be the best lover, or even, parent, so to speak, or a family member. Again, we all need this support. And so it's about showing up for ourselves, showing up so that we can actually be honest and actually know ourselves fully, to embrace that power that we all possess. Oh, hey, look at you. I'm just watching you climb around over there. So I'm actually watching him on the computer over here. That's why I keep looking over here. We changed the set around so I can't see him anymore.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I did not really exercise at all today. I woke up really late. I had that healing done on me last night. See
Davey stretching over here? Stretching it out for you.
Oh, yeah. And I literally, like, when I slept, when you go through a clearing of your chakras and you go through all that shit, like, and you cut cords and all that shit, oh my God, like, I did not, I slept. And then I fucking have been just doing this. So I have like just been sitting and sleeping. I haven't walked. So just walking to the bathroom and back, I feel like I'm Joe Biden right now. Fucking, you know, like, ugh. So what did I miss as I'm putting these cards away?
You missed my take on self-love and being truthful and honest with ourselves and kind of looking at our demons so that we're able to show up for the individuals that are showing for us and being able to kind of see them and support other individuals when they're going through and dealing with their own demons as well. Because we're all just humans after all, baby.
Human after all.